Every religion deals with one thing, and that should be a proof of the universal sinfulness of men. Every religion deals with this one question: how can a man be right with God? You go to Judaism, the question is, how can you be right with God? Even in the Muslim faith, how can you be right with God? There's always in the heart of all men this idea that something is terribly wrong with me. Even in pagan, Druid religion, every kind of religion you can imagine, there was this question of, how can we be right with God? Well, you ask a Muslim, "Sir, are you right with God?" He'll say, "Yes, I'm going to paradise when I die." Why? Well, I've read the Quran, I've obeyed the Quran, I have given alms, I've made the pilgrimages, I make the prayers, I'm right with God. You talk to an Orthodox Jew, "Sir, if you died, where would you go?" "To the way of the righteous." Why? Because I read the law. I love the law of God. I try to obey the law of God. I'm a righteous man and I walk in the way of the righteous. You come to the Christian, the true Christian. You say, "Sir, if you died right now, where would you go?" He would say, "Heaven," with great joy. When you ask him why, with great humility, he probably will bow his head and say something like this: "I was born in sin, and in sin did my mother bring me forth. I have broken every law that God has ever made, and I am worthy of all death." And immediately you stop him and go, "Sir, I don't understand. I understand the answers of the other men. They say they're going to heaven because they proclaim that they deserve it. You, sir, tell me that you're going to heaven, and yet you declare that you deserve just the opposite. How can that be?" And the Christian looks up with a smile and says, "Because I'm going to heaven, not on my own virtue or my own merit, but upon the virtue and the merit of another, Jesus Christ my Lord." That's the difference. And that's why the Christian is the only person that can actually say they're right with God and going to heaven and not be proud. Because they're going to heaven and they're right with God based upon the finished work of another, Jesus Christ the Lord. Now, he says here, justified, very, very important. He says justified as a gift by His grace. This is actually an iteration. It's saying the same thing. It's redundant. It's almost as though Paul is saying that we are made right with God as a gift, 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 as a gift. And why does he keep having to say this in the book of Galatians over and over and over again, that salvation is by grace, that it is a gift? Why does he say that? Because men hate grace. You would think just the opposite, wouldn't you? You think that if you walked up to a man and said, "Salvation is completely free, not based on your merit at all, but the virtue and merit of Jesus Christ," you think that a sinful man would rejoice. No, he hates it. Why? Because he has to humble himself and recognize his need. He has to recognize and declare publicly he is not God, but he needs a God who can save him. And men would rather go to hell being their own God than escape hell by bowing the knee.